Hello and welcome back again to the Code Event channel. And hi, Ivett again. We are going to continue our sessions. Hi.
Yeah.
So let me share the screen and please give a quick explanation what we just set up so I also understand.
Yeah, so we did a bit of live sharing. So VS Code has this feature of live share, which is nice because now I can type on my own computer and we can see it on your computer.
And you can use your command key on your Mac, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And it won't
yeah, let's
change all of my UI and whatever.
Yeah, actually I can copy and paste using wow, that's nice. Okay. So this is much better way of collaborating than with Zoom screen share.
Okay.
And
so
then I can see everything, type things, and so on.
Good. And just anyone for watching, I think in order to have this, I had to install the live share whatever thingy from here, and then I had this button here, live share. So I clicked on it, and then I had.
Yeah, we are in a session now, so you can stop the session and restart it, so we can.
Yeah, I think we can have a separate session maybe where we show both sides.
Next time we show you the connection.
Yeah, and I would also want to see the other side, the person who receives the invitation. What do they have to do? Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So we can try to record both screens while we are accepting or.
Okay. That sounds interesting. Actually, I can do that. We'll see. Okay.
Okay.
So
where were we?
Yeah, we are currently, so the last time we started Refactor, can we look at the last commit so that we can remind ourselves what we were doing? So we started to implement a new feature, which is called make redraw work. So it's gonna allow us to draw another card and without ending our turn. And this is going to be a new action item here, or action card. And the last thing we did was a refactor, and that refactor tried to get rid of some duplication that we had. And
we had this make number of action cards configurable, so that we can have the number of cards there.
Yeah. But then we did some refactoring, and we should also have a comment for that.
Yeah.
The last one.
And
Refactor code showing modify card during the game.
It's wrong. Git show. That's the danger of copy paste, that it's a previous paste or previous copy.
Okay. And what we did was we introduced a function.
We replaced the whole thing instead of having the modifiers.
Yeah.
We had this separate game modifiers.
Yeah, that was actually generating a function that we can then use. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. this change. But instead of having these ones, we had the separate one, which is called number of modifiers. And then inside there were the numbers.
Okay. So that was in player.js. So if you look at player.js now, it's a fairly simple bit of code.
The app.js or player.js?
In player.js. So we have the modifier card here, and we just specify the double time, the key and the text, and it generates the code here. And now what we want to do is, if you go into administration, we have a similar duplication going on there as well. Yeah, here. right? So we should actually have a component for that as well to get rid of this.
Sorry, what was this? This is the. Oh, so these are duplicated inside in themselves, not because these are two separate sets of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what was duplicated? What was duplicated here in player.js is this bit of code.
Okay, and you said you would like to have the same unduplication that we had here in the other one as well. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So let's do
deduplication or whatever it's called.
deduplication. Yeah, that sounds
perfect word. So you would like to have something like this, but with a different.
Yeah. And maybe it's going to be a modifier card configuration.
Sorry?
A modifier card configuration.
Okay.
And we are replacing, oh, sorry, just these two, right? Because the first one is the number of.
It's different, right? Yeah. So.
And then
one of them is the double times. Yeah, that's the text.
Yeah.
Oh, and we are going to create what we have here. We're going to create a function like this, just slightly different.
Yeah,
exactly. Where do I put this now? Oh, I can put it anywhere. I can put it here and then we can see it. Yeah. So this is the modifier card configuration.
But actually, I think we should delete this part.
Yeah, we will. Okay, sure.
And then what I would suggest is taking this bit of code.
Yeah, I wanted to copy this one from here.
Yeah.
I just copied it from the other one.
Okay.
Because I'm lazy.
Okay, we need to put the whole thing into a div, unfortunately. Because otherwise and we don't need the BR at the end in that case, because then it's going to be new line anyway.
It helpfully adds the closing of the div.
Yeah.
So here it's going to be, it's pretty that you remove that, because now I have to come back and remember how it's being done. So we have the, it's just plain, okay. So we have the text. Okay,
we just have
sorry.
to the text here.
We have the text, the double time, we have the text, so we have to put the text here instead of this. Yes, and the modifier key is
here and here.
This one.
Yeah, and one more place. We don't need the quotes though.
Oh, we don't need quotes anymore here?
Yeah, I don't think so, because let me just.
So how was it?
Yeah, we don't even need because this is not interpolation. This is just we are already interpolating here, right? So we just have to use the variable.
Okay, we don't even need the curlies.
Yeah.
Okay,
and here.
Here as well. Okay, and if it's true, then we can also, well, I can copy the other one from here. Right?
Yeah.
And that should be the same, except of the name.
But yeah, it's a modifier configuration. Yeah.
And then, well, it says skip here. And not skips, but, I can change the text here, skips. I don't know if you want to have this plural there or not.
No, let's be consistent. Let's remove skip. Okay, and now
let's see this one.
Should work. Let's go back to the end game yeah, that's also first. Okay, so it does work. One tiny update that I would suggest is that now this min single turn is formatted differently. We are using a BR instead of wrapping the whole thing in a div. So let's also wrap that in a div.
Okay.
Oops.
I don't
Cool.
know.
Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't like me always.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we are actually, I think, ready with the refactor. So maybe we can commit this refactor.
Sorry, we can?
We can commit the refactor.
Okay. Okay. What is this component, right? Let's deploy it.
And now if we search for double time, the key here, then we see that we don't have that many of that anymore, right? We have it once in gameplay where we actually implement the behavior. We have in administration default 0. Why do we have a default 0 there? Because we also have a default 1 in
it's just when we add the player, it will be updated with the current whatever line number we want.
You're right.
So
yeah,
it doesn't
that's
really
why
matter
we have
what's here.
Okay, now I remember. So good. Let's go back to the list of when we did the search. Okay, so we have the two defaults and the two modifier cards. So basically, we have to add 4 lines of code, and we are almost done with the redraw. And then after that, we only have to go to gameplay and implement the behavior.
What? Sorry. What redraw?
So the next
the redraw
task
okay.
we were working on.
Redraw of the cards.
Yeah,
I was thinking about redrawing the GUI.
No. Drawing a new card.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We could call it some other name, skip card, or maybe we could rename skip to skip turn and skip card is the new one.
Okay.
Because skip is not very obvious. It's a skip turn in the correct state. Yeah, it's showing up a couple of things that we don't need, but actually it's just 4 lines.
This is not really relevant. The package JSON lock. Let me check. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I could configure that.
Just 4 places. Let's manually update it.
Yeah. So why do we have the double in 5 places? Or we already had
because double time actually has some behavior, and skip turn doesn't have any behavior. It just moves to the next player. So that's why it's not really necessary.
Okay, so you say that we replace the skip with skip
turn.
So it's called skip Let's search it here as well. It finds it here as well. It's funny.
Yeah, but let's not worry about that.
Skip turn. Skip turn. And here you will say skip turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same one. This here too, we have skip turn.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have to skip turn, skip turn, and skip turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's actually shows
Yeah,
up
it's
as
because of
empty.
the
Yeah.
sticky thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right.
I'll have to. What was our prefix? Self-knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should implement some kind of
What did happen just here? I don't know.
okay.
Sorry, we would want?
So we should actually implement some kind of button that clears the local storage for us.
Yeah. Maybe it's a feature that also the client will need.
I don't think so. Okay, now it works.
I mean, you can't tell them just restart the computer. That won't help.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can go in and add the skip card. For everywhere where there's skip turn, we add the skip card as well.
Okay, and now then we have a skip turn. So now we have this, and then we can also add the skip card. And here we also add a skip card, skip card, skip card. We start with one here too.
Yes.
And so
Everything is done. So let's look at it. Let's look at how it looks like on the UI now.
it looks incorrect, of course, as usual.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Well,
Okay, yeah.
So we add foo, we will get one double time, two skip turn, two of this, and three of this.
Okay.
And add displayer, and then also bar, add displayer, and we can start playing. And they have.
That seems to work. Okay.
Okay. So now it needs a functionality, right?
Yeah, so now we have to go into the use modifier function in gameplay.js. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the part that.
Yeah, and I wonder what skip turn, why skip turn works. Because right now we have no specific, nothing specific that actually makes that work.
Does it even work?
Yeah, it does. We somehow managed to make it work, but I have no idea how we did that. I know, because it just counts if you used it, but it's not actually skipping the turn, and that was it by design. We wanted to make sure. Yeah, so okay. So maybe that makes sense to at least clear the card when we skip the turn, then we make some change, and that's going to be that the card disappears. Okay, then let's first do this. Let's first do the skip card, and then we will go back to skip turn and make a bit more logic there. So skip card, how do we do skip card? We actually need to, what does this do? Yeah, this just changed. Okay. So what we need to do is make sure that we generate a new card. And how do we do the drawing the card part? Set current card. This is the part that does that, right? So actually, I guess all we need to do is move this line in here.
Just a second. I'll need to take a short break. Sorry. Okay. I'll turn it off for now, and I'll come back in a minute or less.
Okay, then I'm going to do the same.
And I am back.
Me too.
Great.
By the way, next time you can post the recording and then it doesn't show up in the final video.
I never realized I can pause that. I know I can stop it.
There is a stop, but there is also a pause.
There's a pause share. I only see a stop video button.
That's weird. I have a pause stop recording. Sorry.
No, the recording. I have to look for the recording.
Yeah.
Pause recording. Okay, good. So next time it's going to be better.
Yeah, and people don't have to forward.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going back. So yeah, I just copied and pasted this line here. Because if you look at it, this sets the next active player. We don't need that. This one changes the end of the turn so that the counter is reset. And this one is putting the new card where it needs.
Oh, so you moved it already here, I see.
And then I copied this right here. It's a minor duplication, but it's not too bad. So maybe let's try it. Let's see if it works.
So this is skipping a card.
Yeah.
So this is the same player, but failed to compile. Current
Yeah,
player index
because
is
the
not
current
defined.
player index is not available here.
Well, because if we get it from here, the active player index.
And we actually just need, oops, sorry, we just need to change this. And that's it. Because there we needed the current player index to make sure that we are at the next player and we are drawing card for the next player. But
Okay.
in this case, it's the same. So we are not changing the player ID.
Okay, so it's who am I at all? I don't know who am I.
You are Foo right now.
It says it's okay. So this should be like a little bit more clearer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, later on we will change a few things in the design.
Okay, so whatever I'm doing here, and I can draw a card.
That moved it to bar, and then if you skip a card,
and it's if I skip here, so that's also like, okay, that's not really. I can skip now this card, this button, right? I can push this button.
Yeah, don't do that. Like we know that it's for the UI.
Okay.
We will make sure that it doesn't happen. But for now,
okay, fourth is 35. Did it change?
Yeah, all it does is just reduces the number of skip turns. So you have to press the skip card. The skip card button.
Skip. Oh, sorry, skip turn. Press the skip turn.
And it works.
It goes to next card. Okay.
Okay. So now that we have done that, maybe let's make the skip turn a bit more user friendly by adding another if statement in after line 20 or between line 22 and line 23. Let's copy this part.
No, we need a separate one for skip.
Duplicate that. Yeah, and then the first one is going to skip turn. And instead of picking a card, just return an empty string there. Or set the current card to an empty string.
Sorry?
Just remove the, just make that an empty string. And that's it. Now, if we skip turn, it will make the card disappear. And it works. And now the next player can draw a card, and that's going to move to the next one.
Okay. Not very intuitive to me, but yeah. That this time when I draw a card, it moves to the new player, and then so.
I see what you mean.
And then the other draw a card stays with the same player. So, I mean, I should know because I press this button or that button, but.
Yeah, maybe we can improve on it later. But for now, that's a reasonable behavior. And I have good news for you.
I guess once we are going to. Maybe we should move the active player to the other one already. I'm not sure.
But then it's basically just the draw card button. So we could just say that when we skip turn, it's doing the same thing as draw card.
Yeah, but what I thought is that
the reason
so now if I click draw card, it moves to the next player, right?
Yeah.
But I think it should be saying something like next player with next card or something like this. So it's because draw a card. So and then we could have like, okay, this is the current player, and then we can have a list of who is the next player or who are the coming players.
Maybe we can rename that to next player. You're right. But at the same time, when we are starting the game, then we actually want the first player to press draw card because that starts their timer.
Right, right.
Let's ask the
Yeah, sure,
stakeholder.
sure.
So
I mean, to me, it's confusing now, but
we will run a couple of user tests anyway.
okay, so implement skip card and skip turn as well.
Yeah, basically. And that finishes this card or this task.
Okay.
So then we have an interesting new feature coming in, which is the share button.
Share.
So the share button is when someone uses their share modifier card, it means that they want to also answer the question that the currently active player is answering. So, for example, I like this question a lot, and I'm bar. And I can say that I'm going to share this time. And then if I share, then the active player stays as is, but I will be the sharing. I will have a status of sharing. And then I get a timer too, where I can.
And you jump ahead. If you're not the next player, will you be the next player?
Sharing, then it returns to the original state of the next player can draw a card. So if you have four players,
Yeah.
Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Diana.
Okay.
And Alice drew a card and talks about her card. And now Charlie says, hey, I want to share a story related to what you're talking about. So once Alice finished talking, then Charlie is going to use his share modifier, and he will be able to share the same, so answer to the same card just as well. And then once he's done answering, then the game returns to Bob drawing the next card. And
then who is turn next?
Then Charlie, then Diana.
Okay.
So it's just basically it inserts an extra
an extra turn somewhere in the middle for that person. When does Charlie have to click that button? During the time that Alice is speaking, right? Because once Alice is done.
Once Alice is done, I think that's the easy way. The hard way would be to keep track of have a waiting list, and then you use your share card, and then you explicitly have to say I start sharing now, and that starts your timer. Or we just say that once Alice finished, then I can say I also like to share, and then I click.
Well, that's okay, but yeah, it's a question of how much we rely on button pressing and how much we rely on first speaking about something and then pressing the button. Because my issue is that if when Alice finishes, then the next we just press the draw card and it goes to the next person. So we don't know, we don't have an indication of Alice finishing, except of moving to the next person. So
Yeah.
if Charlie didn't press the button yet, then we have no idea of that. So
I guess since for now there is a facilitator and only the facilitator has access to the buttons,
okay.
I think for now we can rely on saying that we agree about things in speech before we actually do it.
Okay.
Right? And later on, when we do the whole synchronizing between browsers, then it might be a next interesting feature to create a waiting list. And then you use your share card. And when you use your share card, then it puts you on a waiting list and you have to actively start your turn.
Okay. So we have just a share feature here with a number of properties.
Yeah, we just add a new modifier that's called share.
Okay. Okay, so what did I do? I don't know. Share, just share, or it has a share card?
No, share. It's just share.
It's just share. What did I do here? Something happened.
Modifier card, modifier key. Yeah. And then you also
Okay. I don't know what the copy paste was broken.
yeah. Okay.
I broke copy paste. Okay. And
yeah, we also need it here.
this one. So we also need a skip here. A share, sorry. Share. So what does share do?
It
Sets the active player.
Yeah, and actually it's really funny because it's again a piece of code that I can just copy and paste from here, because all it does is it resets the timer and then someone can share. Just to be more.
What do you mean someone can?
Sorry?
Because it doesn't. Yeah, the person who just jumps in, and the next player is going to be the next player who would be anyway next player.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only thing that we might want to do is to somehow indicate that this person is sharing now.
Yeah.
But let's first try if this works, and after that we can introduce that extra value that will track it for us. Oh, we didn't add to the administration. The share is not added to the administration.
I think we did.
No, it's not there. We have
Apparently
double times.
No,
Yeah.
apparently we didn't. Okay, it's fair enough. So what did I do then? Because I think I edited several of them. Okay, looks good.
Okay.
So I don't know what did I do, but I was very busy with this.
Form. Okay, it could be there. Yeah.
So we go with Alice now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if we start playing, then what happens?
Yeah, you can use the share and oh sorry.
Only Alice has share because it's the sticky
Yeah.
thing.
But
Yeah.
like Fu is right now the active player. So when you click the share, the timer should reset and then the cards should still say the same thing. Can you press it? And it does work.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the basic version. And then let's do some indication that Alice is sharing, just to make sure that that it's easier to track. So we have an active player. We have an active player index, and we can have a sharing player index, which is going to be null most of the time. And when it's not null, then it's a player that is sharing. How about that?
Okay. Sounds okay.
Okay, so then let's go to app.js. No, sorry, gameplay.js.
So the active player is in gameplay and game players. And first we need to have here something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not active player, but sharing player, and set sharing player, and you say that it's not.
Oh, it could be -1. -1 is just as good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's one place of active player. The draw card will reset it to -1. It has
Yeah.
to. So, set sharing player, that has to be resetted.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then in the on line 32.5, we have to set it to active player index. Or
Right, active, not the active.
no, not the active one. The one that is click the button.
Yeah.
How do we know that? The player probably has an index. We have a player variable coming in. Yeah, player ID. No, that's the ID, then we need the index of the player, and that we don't know. How about we change active player index to active, sharing player index to sharing player ID, and then we don't have that problem.
And then from the ID, can we indicate it?
Yeah, the ID is unique as well, so.
Okay.
But the ID is a string, so probably we should enter string, yeah.
The string?
I think so. But we can actually check. That's to get the inspect. But as far as I remember, those are strings. These are actually UUIDs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If that's the UUID, then it's a string, sure. It's a long string.
Yeah.
How do I? Where is it?
Anyway, I am pretty sure it's a string.
Okay, so let's assume that's a string, and then if not, then we'll fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now.
So then the player ID is good here.
Yeah. Okay.
And then somewhere we would like to indicate.
And the game, we also have to reset the sharing player. That's right. So in line 49, you have to add set sharing player ID to string. Yeah. Okay, and now all we have to do is go into the
pass it there.
Yeah, pass it to game player.
And then here we accept it.
And we have to add a new thing here, sharing, and it will be sharing equals, and we interpolate sharing player ID equals player.id. Yeah, and then in player, we are going to say that here, yeah, we duplicate line 22. Yeah, we also need to take the argument, that's true.
Wait a second, what was the name
of? Sharing.
Sharing just? Okay. Okay, it was just sharing. Okay.
And then duplicate line 22. No, actually don't duplicate it, just duplicate, sorry. Layer.
No, that's good, no? Or you want to move this?
Actually, just duplicate this one and that's it.
That's just okay. So just the end of it. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see what's going on now. So let's start the whole thing.
Yeah.
From scratch.
Alice.
Should I clean this? No need.
Yeah, means yeah. Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Diana. Yeah, Charlie is with C.
Yeah, I know. It's just
okay. And start playing.
Wow, so many buttons.
Alice can draw a card.
Draw card, so it's Alice active.
Yeah,
now
and Charlie
is going to share.
And he's sharing. And now, once Charlie is done sharing, we draw another card for Bob. Works.
Oh, and now Diana is sharing. So it's 4 and gets new time. And when we draw Diana is done, then we should be back to Charlie. Yeah, works.
Works. Okay, we have one last button. So this feature is done.
Okay.
And in theory, we are already an hour into coding, but since we only have one actual feature left, and after that, what we have is redesigning the app to look nice. So it's going to be CSS Magic next time. How about we finish that last actual feature? And then after that, everything that's left is cosmetics.
Okay.
So let's actually do the invite button, which is basically much like share. The difference is that when I invite someone, then I can tell. So for example, I am Alice, and I have a card on my hand, and I know that Diana is a bit ahead of me in her process, and I want her to tell her story related to that question.
Basically, you want someone else to share.
I'm asking someone else to share, exactly.
And then they are obligated to share, or what?
Yeah, they are, or well, maybe they can, yeah, they can always say that, sorry, I'm going to just say that's it, but
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
So we have another one here, which is called, what is it called?
Invite.
Invite.
Now this is a bit trickier though, because like we can, let's first just copy the entire functionality of share, right?
Okay, so I have the share here.
We need to add another, yeah, invite.
The invite here. So this is what we'll have to fix. And that's it, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the main part that I guess we'll have to fix.
Mm-hmm.
We have to select the person. So it's not enough that we click on the button. We have to select the person. Do we do it in the UI, or
Yeah.
are we telling it in voice, and then
For
still
now,
someone has to enter it into the system, right?
yeah. So yeah, I mean, one way would be to say that for now we are just not showing who has been invited. But let's be a bit more clever about it. But this actually forces us to okay, you know what? This might be a bit longer than I expected, because now we actually have to come up with a new component, a player selector component, right?
Either that, or I just thought that we have a separate button that I click on the invite button.
Mm-hmm. And then
I
it
click
goes
on
up
the name.
next to everyone.
I mean, basically, we already have the list of people. So,
Mm.
and then I click on the name of the person, or there is a button next to it that to be invited or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do that. Let's just add a button for that, and it will only show up when someone is inviting. So we will need a state.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So we here we'll where is the invite button now? Oh,
You have to recreate the users.
So when I click on the invite, now only Alice can invite, or any others can also. Who can invite now?
Only Alice can invite.
Okay, so that's like, let's say Alice invites. So Alice clicks here, then we get a button for each name somewhere.
Yeah.
Except for Alice, it's herself. Maybe, or maybe Alice can invite herself.
No, I don't think so.
No. So we have a button for each person, and then we click on that thing, and that disappears, and then that person it becomes the invited person.
Yeah, the one who is sharing.
So maybe the same place where we have here the text. You can have the invited, and then when you click it, then it becomes the text invited.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm not a good GUI designer. Anyway, here we have to, show buttons, right?
Yeah.
And then on that button, we have the event. And that event will get us the player ID.
But it's still a bit more complex than what I would think would fit into 5 to 10 minutes. So
we need to finish it now.
yeah, because I have another thingy soon.
Okay,
actually,
so let's just write it down here, what we thought, okay?
Okay.
And we can commit it this way. So we show buttons.
So how about this? How about we delete this line, because it's more like comment it out.
Comment it out, yeah, okay. We can also comment this out. Sure.
No, this line is actually correct. So this we want to keep, and then this is where we do some explanation that show invited button for each other player, and when clicked, it makes that player the sharing player.
Yeah, but I think it's not, I mean, it's not that way. So I think there is a button. So when this happens, the invite happens, then you don't do the reset of the time.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
you do is then you show the select, and the event on that one is where you put the this time. So
you're right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then next time.
That's next time. Okay. So I commit this for now, so it won't get lost.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And I push it out, so we'll have it, and then I'll stop sharing. Hopefully, git push doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. And so thank you, and please follow the channel and follow the channel of Ivett, and see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.